So before you started doing records,
Yes.
what were the rap records that were out?
Actually, if you really want to know, I made the fourth rap record in history. The first one was 1979. A guy by the name of King Tim III. He made a song with the Fatback Band called "Personality Jock," which was like a really like a DJ Hollywood sounding record. Then came, of course, the big one, Rapper's Delight, Sugarhill Gang. That was the summer of 1979.
That was the first hit rap record.
The big major hit. People say it sold 17 million records, but I don't know. We don't know. Nobody knows. But it was boom.
But before Rapper's Delight came out, Grandmaster Caz was already doing his thing. Because I remember I interviewed Grandmaster Caz, and he described how
I wrote everything Hank said on Rapper's Delight. All right. I'm the CASNOVA. That's my name, Casanova Fly. Okay. Back in the early days of rap, everybody spelled their name out in front. You know, I'm so and so. When Love Bug said I'm the LOVE, the BUG. All right. I'm the CASN, the OVA, and the rest is FLY. That was my thing.
Okay, because I remember I'd read something on Wikipedia that said, like, you know, he came to you and you wrote something on the spot and said, here, just do whatever you want.
No, that's bull. These are rhymes that I had already had.
It was already on tape.
I was already saying.
That was a whole story around Big Bank Hank and how they were partners, Bank and
he was the security, I think, the manager or something.
Yeah, and he became a manager, and he lived in Jersey. Well, his mom was well off and bought equipment for them and everything, financed the group and got the group started and everything. And then Hank got the opportunity to be a part of the Sugarhill Gang and asked Caz, no, give me those rhymes, man. And, of course, go ahead, you my buddy, you know. So, but
the rest became history. So there were already rappers floating around.
Oh yeah, we were rapping, scratching, breakdancing, doing graffiti in New York 7-8 years before the first record came out.
Okay. So Sugarhill Gang comes out with Rapper's Delight, and that was a huge hit.
Right.
Internationally also, right?
Yes.
Yeah, all over the place.
Yes.
Okay, so then after that, what was the third record?
A guy by the name of Spoonie G.
Spoonie G, right.
And the song was called Spoonin' Rap. My good friend from west side of Harlem. He's from Manhattanville Projects and the Treacherous Three and Kool Moe Dee and that whole group. They're part of that whole crew.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then you had the fourth record.
Christmas Rap.
Christmas Rap.
Yes. In which Chuck D says that Christmas Rap is the most relevant hip-hop record of all times because it plays every year. And it's like Nat King Cole. They've been playing it since 1979, and it comes around every year. And I thank radio for supporting the song. Without radio across the nation, I thank you guys. My hat goes off. I love you for making that song a classic.
So Christmas Rap, does that come out on Mercury or no?
Yes, first artist signed to a major record label, Mercury Records, 1979. And that was a great, glorious time. Those were fun days, folks.
So how does Kurtis Blow become the first rapper signed to a major label? Because Sugarhill Gang was independent. Sugarhill Records was an independent label. They pressed up their own stuff and everything else like that.
Exactly.
Mercury was a big powerhouse. Like who was on Mercury at the time when you signed?
John Mellencamp.
John Cougar Mellencamp.
John Cougar Mellencamp. James Brown was Polydor, was still assigned to Mercury.
So this is
Stephanie
a huge
Gap
label.
Band, Kool and the Gang. Cameo, Confunction.
Okay. So how does a kid from Harlem suddenly get a record deal with such a huge entity?
Wow, I must say that was a miracle. So we all attest miracles to God.
Okay.
Yes, first and foremost, it was a blessing just to be at the right place at the right time. After God, I would say a lot goes to Russell Simmons, my partner, my college buddy. We sat and debated and argued and fought about this hip hop thing for 3 years straight in college, late night, but at going across the track, running the track, every club. Russell's dad, rest in peace, Danny Simmons, used to say, Kurtis and Russell, you eat, sleep, and drink disco. And I remember when he said that, we never stopped running. We were very, very successful. Our mission was to go to Alderaan, and Russell, we made it, and I thank you, because he did actually talk to my producers of my first 5 albums were 2 guys, a partnership, J.B. Moore and Robert Ford. They were Billboard execs and writers. Rocky was a Billboard writer. He did a story on hip hop in 75 and 79. He included me in the Billboard story in 79 as a college student. And Russell went and convinced him and J.B. Moore to make a song with this young Kurtis Blow. So we were partners during that time. And yeah, they decided to, invest their money and make this a Christmas rap record that they knew would sell and play every year annually. It was a very smart idea. And after we did the song in October, Rapper's Delight was playing on every car, every bus, every train, every cab, every radio, 24/7. And we finished the song in October, and Rocky went out to pursue 22 different labels trying to sell this song to a label. And nobody liked it. The first guy who liked it was a man by the name of John Staines. He worked for Panorama Records, and he loved the song. He took it up the flagpole. The vice president said no. He quit 2 years later, formed his own company called Profile Records, and signed the son of Kurtis Blow, Run DMC. That's Corey Robbins. So John Staines was another guy from England, London, Mercury Records. And he loved the song and said, oh, let's sign him up. We can recoup this record in 6 months. So they signed me up. I was actually an English artist from the UK. And my records came back to America on an import. And I had this strange deal. I had to sell 30,000 records for the first single. And then I get to make another single. And then if the next single sold 50,000 copies, I could make an album.
Okay. And how old were you when you got signed?
I was 19.
19. Still a teenager.
Still a teenager, straight out of Harlem. It was just like a dream world living during that time, traveling around the world, just going to places I only heard of. I went to the UK, to London, Big Ben, I went to Berlin, I went to Paris, France, everywhere, travel, because it's a major label. So I'm working the system, college student, for publicity, send me I'm traveling, going all over the world. And when I got to these, major city, every major city, we have an office in every major city around the world, because we're a major company. That's what major record company means. So when I got to the office, they set me in the conference room, and from 12 to 5, that's all I did was interviews, print, magazines, media, radio, television, whatever. They all was lined up and set in every city that I went to. So I was the first to do the press thing, in 1980, all around the world. And so it was documented, this new thing, hip hop.
So you dropped Christmas Rap.
Yes.
What was the second single?
I had to sell 50,000 copies in order to make an album, folks, with this second single.
Yep.
And the song sold 840,000 copies. And it was called The Breaks. The song The Breaks actually was the first certified gold rap song in the history of hip hop.
So Rapper's Delight never was certified gold?
Certified. No, it sold over 17 million, folks, but
it was a independent label with some
I say no more.
shady practices and so forth. Okay, got it. So, but you were on a major label, so they had to report everything.
Yes.
And
yes.
And you had The Breaks went gold.
Yes.
You
Yes.
said how many copies again?
Nearly platinum.
Almost platinum.
840,000. It was platinum now.
Yeah.
But 840,000 copies.
840,000.
Now these are 12 inches. This is a single. So that's huge. And actually, it is the second certified gold 12-inch in the history of music.
Really? What was the first?
The first one was Barbara Streisand and Donna Summer's "Enough Is Enough." Remember that? Enough is enough, enough. I can go disco again.
Right.
But we made history with that. And again, thank you, J.B. Moore. Thank you, Robert Ford. Thank you, Russell Simmons. Thank you, Polygram, Beverly Page. I mean, just a great, awesome team I was a part of. William Waring, thank you. Thank you to my wife and my family, Shirley Walker, Mikey, Mark, Curtis Jr.
So The Breaks comes out.
Yes.
What happens next? Because obviously, when you have a gold single,
Well,
things start to change.
yeah, that was another jump into light speed. I mean, when I first made Christmas rap and I started working the system and just traveling here and doing free shows and just meeting people and, doing my thing and everybody's loving it, pioneering.
Right.
It was all good, fun and everything. But when The Breaks came out, that was like, I went here. It's like I could demand money
Right, 'cause
for a show.
You weren't really getting paid very much before then.
Very little,
Yeah.
'Cause
mostly promo
a
and
couple
so
of
forth.
thousand here and there. But once I got into that arena to have a #1 hit record, you're in another category of artistry, and you're supposed to conduct yourself a different way as far as your business and monetarily we're talking, requesting more pay for shows, touring. I mean, oh my gosh, I got the opportunity to be the ultimate opening act from all the experience as being an MC from 74 to 79 prepared me to play in the major concert arenas. I became the opening act because it was only one DJ, one rapper, 2 flights, no big luggage. We got turntables we're carrying on the plane, so it's not crazy expenses, you know what I mean? And we're flying all over everywhere and opening shows. I mean, I remember I did 3 shows in one day in 3 different states. I hold the record. And Jay-Z, I found out maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, he did 7 different states in one day. And he had his own plane and all of that stuff. But, it was a glorious, glorious time being the first to tour around the world, the first to tour United States and America. And 1980, I got hooked up with an old college buddy I went to school with. Her name was Allison Williams, an excellent singer. So Allison was working at a company downtown, Midtown Manhattan, and they were the management for the Commodores. And the guy's name, rest in peace, Benny Ashburn, was the manager. She worked for Benny Ashburn. She was his #1 secretary assistant, but I went to college with her. So she found out about Kurtis Blow and I had all these hits, and The Breaks was #1 and this and that. She pitched me to be the opening act for the Commodores All Platinum Tour.
Right, and this was when
1980.
and Lionel Richie
Was
the lead singer of the Commodores.
Was the lead singer. This was huge, folks. So I got on that tour. Thank you, Benny Ashburn, man. Rest in peace. He actually did a lot for hip hop. That tour was the first tour for hip hop nationally. And we played I'm talking about over 150 shows, and it was incredible. I went to places I never heard of, Coteau, Louisiana, and I mean, we played the college towns and played in the school arenas, and was, you know, if you didn't know the college football team, if you didn't shout them out, people would just boo you. You know, so I learned so much being on that tour, just traveling around, meeting people, and learning the markets, different markets, and the different socio patterns of behavior when you go from, you know, Alabama to Louisiana, and what you need to look out for and what you need to, you know, motivate the people about. And it was just a fun, glorious time.
What do you think about the whole situation?
Man, my point of view, man, I really feel like they tried to paint a bad picture on my brother and tried to make him look like he was a hater. It was some envy, jealousy type shit, you know what I'm saying? And actuality, you know what I'm saying? Bro been having this shit, man. He been in the condo.
I got my hat on and I had my Coke bottles up under my hat. And I'm sitting at the dinner table like an asshole with the hat on, knowing she gonna tell me to take it off. And I'm just sitting there just gulping down, you know, in my zone. She said, take that goddamn hat off at the dinner table. I'm like, come on, Mom. Coke everywhere.